Welcome to Quiz Moose. Are you smarter than a Canadian moose? Let's find out. And yes, that was a moose call.
Welcome, history hunters. Do you have what it takes to navigate the Great White North? Today, we're diving deep into the wild frontier to see if you can name Canada's most legendary explorers. We've got 20 fast-paced questions lined up to test your brain power. Let's get started. Which explorer claimed Canada for France in 1534? Samuel de Champlain, Jacques Cartier, Jean Talon, or Pierre Radisson? The correct answer is Jacques Cartier. Jacques Cartier named Canada after the Iroquoian word Kanata, meaning village or settlement. He thought it was the name of the entire region, but it actually just referred to a local community.
Which explorer led the first recorded crossing of North America north of Mexico to reach the Pacific Ocean in 1793? David Thompson, Alexander Mackenzie, Louis Joliet, or Simon Fraser? Alexander Mackenzie is the correct answer. Mackenzie's epic journey down the river, now named after him, reached the Arctic Ocean first. Then he tried again for the Pacific. His bold trek beat Lewis and Clark by over a decade. Who is known as the father of New France? Jacques Cartier, Louis Joliet, Samuel de Champlain, or Pierre de la Vérendrye? The correct answer is Samuel de Champlain. Champlain founded Quebec City in 1608 and made over 21 voyages across the Atlantic. He created detailed maps and established crucial alliances with Indigenous peoples that shaped Canadian history. Which explorers searched for the Northwest Passage and has a bay named after him? James Cook, Henry Hudson, John Franklin, or Martin Frobisher? Henry Hudson is the correct answer. Hudson's final voyage in 1611 ended tragically when his crew mutinied and set him adrift in Hudson Bay with his son and a few loyal sailors. They were never seen again. Who charted much of Canada's Pacific coast in the 1790s? James Cook, Francis Drake, George Vancouver, or Alexander Mackenzie? The correct answer is George Vancouver. Captain George Vancouver spent 4 years meticulously surveying the Pacific Northwest coast. Vancouver, BC, and Vancouver Island are both named in his honor. Which explorer mapped the Columbia River and is considered one of the greatest cartographers in history? Simon Fraser, David Thompson, Peter Pond, or Anthony Henday? David Thompson is the correct answer. David Thompson mapped over 3.9 million square kilometers of North America. That's larger than India. He was so meticulous that many of his maps remained in use for over a century. Who led the tragic 1845 expedition to find the Northwest Passage, losing all 129 men? John Ross, William Parry, John Franklin, or James Clark Ross? John Franklin is the correct answer. The Franklin expedition mystery wasn't fully solved until 2014 and 2016, when both ships, HMS Erebus and HMS Terror, were finally discovered in Arctic waters using modern sonar technology. Who sailed for England and discovered Newfoundland in 1497? Amerigo Vespucci, John Cabot, Sebastian Cabot, or Christopher Columbus? The correct answer, John Cabot. John Cabot, Giovanni Caboto, claimed Newfoundland for England, establishing English claims to North America. His voyage lasted just 72 days, but changed the course of Canadian history. Which explorer founded the Northwest Company and explored vast western territories in the late 1700s? Peter Pond, Alexander Mackenzie, Simon Fraser, or David Thompson? Peter Pond is the correct answer. His maps inspired Mackenzie's journeys, though his temper led to controversies. He helped spark the fur trade rivalry with the Hudson's Bay Company. Who was the first European to see the Rocky Mountains from the prairies in 1754? Anthony Henday, Samuel Hearne, Matthew Cocking, or David Thompson? The correct answer is Anthony Henday. Traveling for Hudson's Bay Company, he traded with indigenous groups and described the mountains. His journey opened inland exploration. Who led expeditions that mapped the Labrador coast and searched for the Northwest Passage? Martin Frobisher, Humphrey Gilbert, John Davis, or Walter Raleigh? John Davis is the correct answer. His 3 voyages in the 1580s named Davis Strait. He was a skilled navigator whose work aided later Arctic efforts. Who was the first to cross the Northwest Passage completely by ship from west to east in 1954? Jean Dupont, Lucas Moreau, Henry Larsen, or Pierre Martin? The correct answer is Henry Larsen. The RCMP officer navigated the St. Roch through the passage twice. His voyages proved year-round navigation was possible. Who was the first European to explore the Yukon River? George Vancouver, John Franklin, Robert Campbell, or Samuel Hearne? Robert Campbell is the correct answer. Campbell's 1840s expeditions helped open the Yukon to fur traders. His reports inspired the Klondike Gold Rush decades later. Which explorer is known for his 18th century expeditions in the Great Lakes region? Etienne Brulé, Louis Joliet, Jacques Marquette, or Robert La Salle? The correct answer is Etienne Brulé. Brulé was the first European to live among the Huron people and explore the Great Lakes. His knowledge of indigenous languages made him a legendary coureur des bois, fur trader. Who explored the fur trade routes in Western Canada? Pierre Radisson, Alexander Couros, Henry Kelsey, or David Thompson? Pierre Radisson is the correct answer. Radisson's explorations helped establish the Hudson's Bay Company. He was a key figure in Canadian fur trade history. Who founded the Red River Colony in Manitoba? Thomas Douglas, Lord Selkirk, Alexander Couros, or George Simpson? The correct answer is Thomas Douglas. The Red River Colony was a key settlement in Canadian history, establishing a Scottish presence. Which explorer is famous for his 18th century expeditions in the Canadian Shield? George Vancouver, Pierre La Vérendrye, Samuel de Champlain, or John Franklin? Pierre La Vérendrye is the correct answer. La Vérendrye and his sons built a chain of forts across the West, seeking a route to the Pacific. Their efforts laid the groundwork for the Red River Colony. Which explorer is known for his role in the Pemmican War? William McGillivray, Duncan Cameron, Miles McConnell, or Cuthbert Grant? The correct answer is Cuthbert Grant. Grant, a Métis leader, played a key role in the violent Pemmican War, 1814-1816, between the Hudson's Bay Company and the Northwest Company. His leadership was crucial in the Battle of Seven Oaks. Which explorer is known for his role in the Klondike Gold Rush? George Carmack, Skookum Jim Mason, Dawson Charlie, or Joseph Ledoux? George Carmack is the correct answer. Carmack's 1896 gold discovery on Bonanza Creek sparked the Klondike Gold Rush. His wife Kate and her brother Skookum Jim were key to the discovery. Who was the indigenous interpreter and guide Who was the first recorded free black person in Canada and traveled with Champlain? Matthew da Costa, Etienne Brulé, Jean Nicolet, or Pierre Lemoyne? The correct answer is Matthew da Costa. This multilingual explorer helped bridge European and Indigenous worlds in early 1600s Acadia. His story highlights diverse contributions to Canada's exploration history.
Awesome job for making it to the end of the quiz. How many questions did you get right? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this challenge, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Quiz Moose family for more fun learning adventures. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next quiz.